watching LeBron and Kawhi, like what to you as a LA sports fan, sports writer, what are you most excited for in a perfect return? When
you know what, for me, like, you know, I was very, very, very fortunate to cover the Lakers for as many years as I did, and to be around, you know, some of the best players, and, you know, I got to cover LeBron for a little bit. But, you know, going as a fan to Staples Center, which I haven't done in years, would be a different experience, especially, you know, I mean, it's different when you're watching a game as a reporter than from, let's say, you know, someone who's just going to a game.
Tell me
to
about
watch
it,
you know, just for fun.
Tell my whole family that. Can you give me a shirt? I'm sure you got that a lot too. Can you give me a shirt? Can you give me a noisemaker?
Oh no, I get all of that. You know, Can you give me tickets? Get discounts? All of that. I used to get all that all the time. Or you know, I'll carry your laptop. You can take me in. Yeah, I've gotten that. Trust me, I've gotten that. Or you know, I'll have a camera. I'll bring a camera in. You know, I'll be like a cameraman. I've gotten it all. But yeah, just doing that, and obviously, I mean, I want to say I've been to an NFL game, but I don't remember when. But maybe I was very young. But you know, obviously, opening of a new stadium, regardless if it's the Rams or the Chargers, you know, opportunity to do that. You know, the environment. You know, everything is good and ready to go, and people are healthy, and this virus is gone.
Yeah,
you know, that's going to be something special alone. You know, it looks like a beautiful stadium, and it's very, you know, modern, obviously, and there's a lot of, you know, features there that, you know, that would attract you aside from just the game. Obviously, the game's the main attraction, but doing that, you know, would be a crazy experience. And as for Travis Irvine, I am not a Dodger fan, but I do have a lot of family members that are Dodger fans, and the experience there is, you know, it's always great. You know, I mean, I'm not necessarily cheering for the Dodgers, but just being there, you know, I mean, me being an Angels fan, I'm not going to be naive and say,
okay,
oh, Anaheim Stadium's better, but
the tailgating experience is better. The tailgating experience is better.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've been an Angels fan my whole life, so I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, Angels fans, you know, we're better or stuff like that. Oh, I mean, Dodgers have always had a great fan base, and being in that environment and see how in tune all the fans are and how rowdy and how excited, and, you know, they're in with the game. It's I mean, if I was a Dodger fan, I would love just being in that atmosphere any game.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose, I would probably just be, you know, going to Staples Center, because I haven't done that in years to watch a Laker game.
Well, Bob, it was great to hear from you, man. If you want to just let people know where they can find you and your work.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm at sportscasting.com. We cover pretty much anything, any sports. It's not necessarily just straight up news. It's more opinion stuff. You know, it's more of like, you know, what we think rather than what is reported and angles, and it's not, you know, your typical sports website. So we cover just about everything, you know, be it from, we're even doing wrestling now, so from time to time. So yeah, so sportscasting.com, and then my Twitter handle is a little more complicated than that. It's bgarcia90 or bgarcia IV Sports. And yeah, I put all my content there, you know, be it writing or even time to time give my opinion on whatever it may be, you know, sports or other stuff aside, you know, especially with all this, you know, all this other stuff we're dealing with, you know, all this social injustice and all this crap that, you know, that's been dealing with for years. But yeah, there's a lot.
Well, man, stay good. You know, you and your family continue to be healthy and continue to keep reaching the stars, man. I love seeing you work. Yeah. I always have. You know, you've always helped me. We've always helped each other. And so glad to see you doing well.
Same to you guys. And thank you for having me on.
No worries, man. Have a good night.
Thanks for coming on.
Of course, man. Thanks for every time. It's a great time. So, you know, can't wait. Looking forward to the next time.
All right, man. Peace.
We're going to send you off on a shotgun blast.
All right.
Peace.
There you go. All right. All right, guys.
Later.
See ya.
All right. Well, that was Bob Garcia IV. Shout out to him. He's my plug for the Lakers. So shout out to him. As he said, he used to do it, and then he passed it down to me. So, fuck with that man for life. Shout out to him one more time.
OG.
With that, man, so should we move to touchdown or turnover?
Indeed.
All right, man. First up, I'm going to take it to you for college football for this one. San Jose State, the one of the first places I ever seen a live football game. They are retiring the Spartan Up hand gesture due to its resemblance to a white supremacist hand symbol. Is that a touchdown or turnover for you?
That's a touchdown. The fact that they do have a lot of black players on their team, and San Jose, even though San Jose doesn't like to consider itself the Bay Area.
You don't like to consider it the Bay Area.
Nah, I've considered the Bay Area, but it's confusing.
Stop it.
It's confusing because...
We're going to call this the Backtrack Podcast because you're Homer Simpsoning a lot in this podcast today.
The only person who backpedals better than me would be that...
Jalen Ramsey?
No, that cop who...
Eric Berry?
No, that cop who threatened to whoop people's asses, but then professional boxers got in his DMs and was like, what's good? And all of a sudden he came out with a second video.
I thought you were talking about that dude who was getting Oreos and lemonade.
No, that buff-ass black cop who was like talking all that shit, how he didn't want no hands. And then all of a sudden... boxers started DMing him and he didn't want to smoke, and regular people was like, okay, I'll take you up on it, and he don't want to fight nobody now. Like, everybody's a tough guy with the badge on, but when you're in street clothes, it's a totally different situation. But yeah, I think it's great that they're doing that, and they realize that that they can come up with a different hand gesture or whatever. It's just better to get rid of that because it is similar to a white supremacist hand signal. Technically, the OK hand gesture is a white supremacist hand signal. A lot of stuff that they use, the average person wouldn't even know it. You could use it your whole life and not know. But like the Bungaloo Boys, the Proud Boys, like there's a lot of white supremacist groups out here, especially in California. People think, oh, California is like this blue state. But that's mainly where there's like high populations of people, like L.A. Like once you get further out into the boonies, Central California, other places like that, it's all red.
Yeah, there's definitely some deep pockets of red, like in Northern California, state of Jefferson, Central Valley, the IE, OC, some parts of San Diego.
There's a lot of white supremacist enclaves up north, Fresno, Bakersfield. It's a lot. And it's a
lot of conservative too. It's a lot of conservative roots.
So the fact that San Jose State would get ahead of things and be like, we're not gonna do.
It's more of like the Christian Republicans and like the billionaire Republicans. Put it that way.
And once you get to like the Valley or the Central Valley or something like that, then it's like, oh yeah, you out here with some.
And on a similar, not unrelated topic, the Washington Redskins will no longer honor their ex-owner, George Preston Marshall. He is being removed from their Ring of Fame since he was the last owner to integrate his franchise. So, is that a touchdown or a turnover, him being removed from the ring?
It's a turnover because you need to change the fucking name of the team.
I second that.
If you're going to do that, it's like, oh, I'm not racist, or this team isn't racist. We got rid of the previous owner, but you kept the name.
And for me, like just overall, this whole thing that we're kind of doing where we're like, oh, we can't, honor all these racists and these white supremacists and all these people who've done these things in history. I think at first I was kind of like, it's kind of a revisionist history. But then I'm like, I think Alzee Granderson put it best, and he was like, like it's one thing to remember things. Like we should definitely remember them. We should still remember them because like, yeah, they were fucked up people and they did bad shit, but they did do some good things. And either way, like we've already, like they still have a place in history just based on what they've achieved or done or whatever. But there's a difference between remembering someone and honoring someone. And when you have a statue or a plaque or whatever, you're honoring that person, and so then you're honoring the extra stuff that they did and all the other stuff. You're not just remembering them for their job or for whatever they might have accomplished. You're honoring them as people, as a person. So, you know, I've come around to it, and so I'll say that it's a touchdown because it's got to be a start, right? I mean, like at this point, we're going to keep hearing the name change. It's got to. We've been hearing it. It's got to happen sooner than later. Like, you guys can't be the last professional team with a racist ass logo, too. Because I'm pretty sure Snyder doesn't want to be written out of his own Ring of Fame.
Some people are just fools for their own glory. And in his case, they ain't got no glory because they ain't won shit since he's been the owner of the team. So there's that. But I'm sad that San Jose State has more social and racial self-awareness than a fucking Washington team that they just know. Like that's a growing organization. Like this is a like I'm glad that San Jose State took the lead and said we're gonna stand with our black players and fight against anti-black racism, and you know
all you TAMU players, all you Mississippi State players, all you UT players should really look at San Jose State, because not only is it a D1 school, but you can make your own legacy there. They've been good before. They've been good before. Yeah, and not just that, but
the Mountain West not
just that. Football, not just that, but you know, you're in the heart of Silicon Valley, so you're going to be making a lot of relationships that are going to benefit you, just even beyond football. So, yeah. just think about that, all you players out there.
We'll get to those other teams that you mentioned.
With that, next one I wanted to bring up. Antonio Brown is once again in the headlines. This time, reports, speculation, whatever you want to call it, say he's being considered with the Ravens and the Seahawks. The Ravens came out real quick and debunked it, said they haven't had recent conversations about it. The Seahawks, I haven't seen them refute it, but I'm sure they will. So either way, you know, is it a touchdown or a turnover that, you know, we're talking about Antonio Brown in the league again?
I don't even know why this is even being an issue.
Like what I'm saying,
pretty much blackballed him, so it's really a moot point. It's kind of just,
that's what I'm saying. So
this is a reset down.
So that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. So it's like, you know, it's
safety.
Is us talking about him? Is that productive? Like, does Antonio Brown need to be in the league again this year?
It's not productive because teams aren't going to take a chance on him. They're just not. He's already been deemed a toxic personality and a team cancer.
I mean, deemed. He kind of exposed himself more than like deemed.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
some people call T.O. a cancer, deemed, but he was great everywhere he played.
Deemed is like, okay, when like if after the fact all the Steelers fans started, you know, talking shit about him and he was still winning, that would be deemed. But
okay, he exposed himself as that.
Yeah, this man was doing a lot. Like, we can't forget that whole clown season shit he was doing.
You're really hot about that Raider shit, aren't you?
I'm not really even that hot. I mean, I am. Like, don't get me wrong. I think I've compartmentalized it and just accepted it because he did flame out so hard after that. Had he had gone to the Patriots and won, I would have hatred and vengeance running through my veins. But considering like he washed out and nobody benefited from him, like, I'm okay with that. But even Vic Tafur was like, you know, tweeted about it and he was like, I don't know why you guys are surprised. Like, Gruden kept giving him chances for a reason. Like, he was dominating practice every single day, like single-handedly. Like, all right, so let's move to take or tangent. If you could give me the job, please.
Really, there's so much more to talk about.
All right, so the next one I want to talk about. This is why I had to move this to take your tangent, just because I feel like you're going to go on a tangent about it. So, the Breezes, Drew Brees and his wife are reportedly sponsoring the Black College Football Hall of Fame event. So, do you got to take her a tangent on that?
think it's excellent. I think it's excellent that it's pissing off all the racist white people who think she didn't say or do anything wrong. And I think it's